Hello everyone, Mithli here. As you can see, we're not back in me own wood smithy. Today we're actually visiting over at DF Turnt Designs, as that's the lathe I'm going to be using for this part 2 of our making a brick pattern rolling pin. So we'll be turning this brick patterned block that we made in our last video and actually turning it so that it's a nice rolling pin in the French rolling pin style. So to begin, just as we go through the process as we do this, first thing we're going to find our center on each end so that we can make sure that we put it on the lathe centered. So we'll go through the process of centering it. Here just make an X from corner to corner. They're all lined up. That's just so we can make sure that we find center on here. Try and keep this as symmetrical as possible. Right there, naturally, right in the middle of the brick is where you would expect it. Means we did pretty good on keeping this symmetrical on each side. So after we do this, we'll be mounting this up onto the lathe. And to be honest, this is my first time doing the mounting part myself. I did go ahead and do a practice Alright, I did go ahead and do a practice rolling pin. Some of you may have seen some photos from that on the webpage. But there we go. And another. It looks like nice and centered. The next part, take this, which will end up going in here, and we're just going to stick it right on that center. And we're going to, so it gets a nice bite. Now that that's nice and bit in there, mount it up. Again, gotta knock it a bit to make sure it gets in there. And then we line up this end. On this nice light wood, it helps. And it's easy to see that center mark. I'll just tighten down this end also. As we do that, it'll help push this other end as well. Get it all nice and secure so that our wood stock doesn't go flying. So again, this will only be my second time with a lathe. Important things to remember. Safety, as we talk about all the time here on Mithli Woodsmithing, is always important. Making sure that we know what we're doing. This is our tool rest. Actually what we'll be using. We gotta make sure that we got enough space here so that as it turns, we want this to line up about is where that corner is. Not too close, not too far. You know, like Baby Bear, just right. And we got the clearance. I'm actually probably gonna back slightly. That close makes me a little nervous. Get this straight. Alright, we'll go ahead and safety glasses. Lots of shavings come. When we get down to the sanding later, you'll see me put on dust mask so we keep that dust from the face. I'm just going to give it a test spin, make sure it's going to spin alright. Looks like everything is alright with that. What a beautiful look, is it not? So the two tools we'll be using for doing this today, these are mini carbide turning tool set. It's a 3-piece set. I'll not be using the parting tool that's in there. I'll be using what I lovingly refer to as the circle-y tool thing and the square tool thing. If you know the right names for these, feel free to leave a comment down in the messages, down in the chat, but they just have different sides, so you can just, as the blades wear down, you just turn the blade to a new side, which makes it nice. Helps increase tool life for them, and so we'll get through that. So this, what we'll start with, circle thingy, and we're just going to work from the edge, work our way down. We'll do this in 3 segments as we go, and we're just going to light passes initially, just taking off and getting this from a square shape into a round shape. So, that said, let's begin. Helps to remember what handed we are. Just nice slight passes. Just so you can see, we got a little bit of tear out going on here initially. That's part of that reason of making those nice light passes, to try and help avoid that. And as we go along, that should help smooth all of this out as it all gets rounded. See it starting? So we're going to speed things up a little bit as far as your view, and we'll get going. So in just a moment, get things set up. We'll keep our work going and see how we do it making us a rolling pin. have it, all nice and shaped out. She's got a couple little spots in her still, but I had a couple little mishaps, you may have noticed early on. I accidentally took a chunk out of the squarey thing. We were able to adjust that blade, but got it down. Nice smooth roll. So now it's time to take it off. Cut off the ends there on the miter saw, and then finish. So there it is. See that grain? Just came out fantastic. We'll wipe it down here in a moment with some food grade mineral oil so you can really see it all pop. And then we'll take it back to me Smithy, where we'll put a nice coat of me wood elixir on there to make sure that it stays nice and protected for years to come. So let's go ahead and over here we're going to do our cuts. Turn on the laser, just so we know. Something I missed. Take pencil, stick in the hole, see how deep. That way we can make a mark. Smarter dwarf than me would have made it on the maple, just so, to be sure that we don't, or that we can see it. So there you have it, we got our marks, so we know where to cut. Shave just a little bit off here. So they're nice and smooth on the ends, and we'll sand down the ends. Like I said, we'll put some of that food grade mineral oil on and be good to go. There you have it, first side, nice and smooth. And take it, get close here and you can see we got right at the spot, right at where it ended. It was a perfect lineup. Let's get this other side. Here we go. That one went a little deeper than the other. That's all right. Some little coasters. And there we have it. Now I'm just going to sand it down. Like I said, put a little mineral oil on there so you can see, or at least we'll wipe it down so we can see. We may just wait and go straight for the wood elixir. So I'll see you back at my own smithy where we'll finish up. Welcome back to the smithy. we're going to go ahead and finish up. So now we'll just be wiping down. Absolutely fantastic grain that we got. And it is, like I showed you guys before we left, already looks just fantastic. So now we're just wiping, make sure we get all that sawdust off. We're going to put some of my wood elixir on, and we should get that same nice sheen like we have here in the cutting board. While the brick's a little larger this time than it was in the cutting board, just due to nature of it. If I'd done these smaller bricks across here, would have looked even less brick-like. I think the brick appearance still came out pretty well though. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Anyway, I think we got it nice and wiped down. Like I mentioned before, obviously not perfect. Mortal beings can't make perfect things. There's only one capable of that. But good enough. Still a fantastic piece of fine dwarven craft, I would say. And it's a good hefty, let's go ahead and grab our calipers real quick and get a measurement before we put the elixir on. Just to give you an idea. Turn this on, zero it out. So right here at the middle, 2.9 inches. So just shy of the 3 inches. And we started at that just over the zero, or correction, just over the 3 inches. One shouldn't talk about numbers while they're doing a task like zeroing out their calipers. Throw themselves off. So, about 2.9 inches wide, tapers down to, if I remember from while I was making it, tapers down to about 2.6, 2.7. So, it's got a good heft to it. Rolls real nice, as you can see. And let's watch that grain pop. My elixir soaked rag here. Just wipe that on. Look at that grain just come out. So I did something a little different with this than my normal. So normally when I sand, typically don't go above about a 320. But in this I followed the pattern that I got from DF Turnt. He's the one who told me how to do this in the first place, his equipment. And so we actually sanded this up from 80 all the way up to 500. No, correction, 600. And all the way up to 600. And so didn't show it in the video, but after we cut those ends off before I headed back, I went ahead and sanded the ends as well. And I just hand sanded those also. Well, for that I started at 150 actually, and I went all the way up to that 300 or 600. Numbers are not my strong points. Just no mind for figures tonight, it seems. But there you have it. We're actually going to let this elixir sit in overnight. But we'll bring it closer so you can see. Hopefully you can see. it just really makes, one, it darkens it, but it just really makes all that figure pop. So, hope you enjoyed my video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to drop them down in the comments. If you liked what you saw, feel free to like or subscribe. Hope to see you back again, maybe Smithy, at a later date. Till next time, always hand-forged Dwarven tough here at Mithli Woodsmithing.